So, I mean, there comes a time when you have to just ask a rhetorical question, Farley, because I already know the answer to this. It's kind of the whole point of the journey we're on. But formalities are formalities, and our species is nothing if not traditional. So have you seen Alien Resurrection?
Nope.
So I've been thinking about something all afternoon, and I want to pick your brain on it because I feel like normally when it comes to movie-related things, movie industry-related things, I may not always be right, but I usually have an opinion. Like, I usually know where I stand.
Well, I mean, opinions are like buttholes.
No.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah, Carl's sucks. But I usually know where I stand, right? Like I would say when it comes to the industry and how the industry works and casting and story and all of this stuff, I usually I'm pretty well educated in the movie industry. And so even if I've got an unpopular opinion, I usually have an opinion. I know where I stand, and I can kind of back it up.
Sure.
So something came up today. I started thinking about it. It actually springboards off of a conversation that we had last week when we were reviewing Electric State.
Right. Okay.
And for the life of me, I can't decide which side of the fence I land on.
Does this have to do with Electric State?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, well, no.
But Electric State spurred this thought?
Well, it was something that we were discussing when we were talking about Electric State. And at the time, I agreed 100%. And prior to now, I would say that I was pretty firmly on one side of this argument. And then all of a sudden today, I'm not sure anymore. So the argument, the thing that we were talking about was that many of the voice cast in that film,
right, big names that we didn't see that didn't really make a difference.
Yeah, it was unnecessary casting. And you brought up sort of the age-old opinion that it is always better if you're that yes, there is a real difference in the skill set required to be an on-screen actor versus a voice actor.
Right. And in regards to Alan Tudyk, I was making that point.
Yeah. And that's the thing all the time. People say, like, why would you cast this guy instead of casting Nolan North? Or instead of, Nolan North mostly just does video games. But instead, like the Sam Witwers of the world, the Rob Paulsons, the
why would
Hank
you cast
Azarias.
Alan Tudyk to voice a chicken when a Foley artist could fill that job just as easily for you?
Yeah, I mean that's sort of a different argument, but yeah, that normally, why cast a big name in a film? And we know why they do it. They do it because then you have
a big name in the
box
film.
office draw.
Yeah.
But that typically it's better to go out and get someone who is actually trained as a voice actor, and because they can do the good voice actors, people like Rob Paulson, people like Hank Azaria, people like XYZ can do 100 voices, and so they can be in just about anything, and you won't know that it was the guy from that other thing. And I've historically always agreed with that. That's to me, I've been like, yes, it is an entirely different skill set. And I do still believe that it's an entirely different skill set. And any actor who has done voice work for the first time or has done it a couple of times and are doing an interview about it, they will it is exhausting. They're like, it's far more tiring doing voice work than it is because you have to, you say the same line 17 times in every possible different way that you can think to say it, and then you're recording like guttural noises. You're in there for sessions doing like, wow, my character jumps, so I got to do a huh, and I got to do a ah, and a and it's
Right.
it's just this, it's a whole other. But then I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, well, what are examples? Because you've got situations like Chris Pratt, right? Chris Pratt obviously was cast to do Mario in the Super Mario movie.
Right.
And did a whatever job. Was fine. Was not the atrocity that I think everyone thought it was going to be when they're like, he's not even doing the woohoo kind of voice. And then Chris Pratt also did Onward, right? He's in that with Tom Holland. But so I was thinking, what are the films that, and in both of those instances, I don't think it needed to be Chris Pratt, right? He did fine, but it being Chris Pratt isn't what makes either of those films.
He did Lego Movie too.
What they are, right? He's in that, and he is really he's really good in that, right? Like he sells that really well. Again, maybe it could have been someone else, but he does a really great job of that. But I started thinking about like, what are the movies out there, animated films that have been voiced not by voice actors, but by big, serious Hollywood actors, and does this statement that we had sort of talked about last week, does it hold true across the board? And I don't think it does. Because all of a sudden I started going, well, if the rule of thumb was just find people who are good at voice acting, right? Don't cast actors who haven't already proved themselves as voice actors. Then you don't have Tom Hanks and Tim Allen in Toy Story.
Right.
And it's really hard to picture Toy Story without Tom Hanks.
The skill is a little bit like acting to voice acting. There is a bit of a transferable skill. Voice acting to acting is a bit further of a stretch. A bit
bigger of a gap. But yeah, I just started thinking about it. I was like, okay, so you have that. You have The Lion King. Right? Basically everybody in The Lion King.
Yeah.
The only person who had, to the best of my knowledge, done significant voice work before is James Earl Jones. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, then you don't get Darth Vader. You don't get James Earl Jones as Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Now, it's a little bit different because I don't think that you go back to the 70s, even in the 90s, there were some people who were known for voice acting, but not like there is today.
Yeah, the classic Disney films didn't have, I could be wrong here, but
they do from the 80s on.
From the 80s on?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like, Mel Gibson and not Brad Pitt, but who plays? Yeah, there's it in all of those. Robin Williams, right?
Yeah.
Like they all start having.
Yeah, in the 90s for sure, definitely. Yeah,
bigger names in them.
Yeah,
and then I was like
Dalmatians, 101 Dalmatians.
Wow, that's the 60s.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, is that far old?
Yeah. But then and then following on, I'm like Shrek. You don't get Mike Myers as Shrek.
Oh yeah.
Or Eddie Murphy as Donkey, or Cameron Diaz as Fiona.
Yeah.
Or Antonio Banderas as Puss.
Yeah.
Right? And so I started thinking about it, and I was like, damn. Like, those are situations where I am so grateful.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal and John Goodman in Monsters, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
Crucial.
Yeah.
Crucial. And so I just don't know anymore where that line is for when you go out, and because sometimes it is just better
for an actor
to get
to be a well-known actor to do voiceover work.
Yeah.
I would chalk that up to like that acting of live action acting has a fairly transferable skill to acting. I mean, in some cases, most cases, I think the actor is going to get into the character and the voice might change a bit. But then I think you still have cases where the actor is just talking and not putting anything in it, like Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Like with Woody, like obviously Woody is a more high-strung.
It's it's old school Tom Hanks.
Constantly. Well, it is, but even like Tom Hanks, like you see Tom Hanks do interviews and he says Woody is different than anything. He says Woody is constantly, he says the reason why Woody is so exhausting to do is because he's never unclenched. He's in a constant state of like
butt puckered.
Yeah, he's just he's so just yeah.
It does like have you watched much of Tom Hanks's early stuff where he's doing mostly comedies?
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
it does
Big,
remind
the
me
Money
of that.
Pit,
Yeah.
Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
We are the B team.
Which means what?
We're bees gathering honey.
No, come on.
And
what does it mean? We're
not as good as the A team.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I don't know who's the A team.
Mr. T, and they got the van and they're solving crimes.
You named one member of the team. You don't know the rest.
He's the only one.
He's the only one anyone knows. No, so the B team because there's two separate, not teams. I don't. You started calling it the B team, and I just kind of went with it. And I don't know if it's.
This is fun.
Yeah,
I like it. I don't mind it. I
think
don't care.
It's confusing to anyone listening for the first time. They're like, "Oh, I thought is it the B team podcast?" Like, I don't understand.
The A team versus the B team. Who's better? You tell us.
Yeah, that's
join Patreon. Let us know on Discord.
Next week's episode. So we're here doing Alien Resurrection because I have over the last 6 weeks shown you the first 3 Alien films. And
took us 6 weeks to watch 3 films.
Well, because we go back and forth. Yeah, that's how that math works. So before we get into this, before we give initial impressions, I have one question for you, because you have been sort of at times one step ahead of the game here, because although you hadn't seen the Alien films, you were somewhat versed in the
pop culture,
the canon of
pop culture has spoiled a lot of these films.
Sure.
Yeah.
How much of the did you know that Ripley was coming back? And did you know that 200 years after Ripley's death, she returns as half human, half xenomorph?
I didn't know it was 200 years.
Okay.
When she died in 3, I was like, I thought she was gonna be in the next one.
Right.
Because I've seen through pop culture stuff, some of Ron Perlman's stuff, like little clips of this movie with Ron Perlman, and she's in it, and so I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay, maybe I'm misremembering, and it's just Ron Perlman I remember seeing. But yeah.
But you didn't know the half human, half xenomorph, that she was a clone, that she
pretty much just like Ron Perlman and Sigourney
Right. You were
Weaver.
just confused about the fact that it seemed like she wasn't going to be in this because you thought she probably was. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So initial impressions. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to bury the lead here.
Okay.
Of the films we've watched so far, of the first 4 films in this franchise, the second best film.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In behind the first one still being the best.
Okay.
The third one being the worst, easily the worst.
Sure.
But I think for several reasons, and this is unpopular, I know, sue me, please don't. This edges out the second one. This edges out Aliens for several reasons. There are several reasons why this film is not better than the first, though. Right? There are some issues with this film for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's it's a real step up from what we watched in the third one. I think it's sort of a nice, like, okay, all right. So this isn't like, that was a hiccup. That wasn't a downward trajectory into the ground. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'll keep it at that for my initial impressions. Second best one we've seen so far. What were your thoughts? And how different are we?
I will say, I'll keep mine brief, as they should be.
Just like your underwear.
Yes. I like the ones that are boxer
briefs.
Boxer briefs, but I like them really long, like going halfway down my calf.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I find if they're too short, then they just ride up and it's uncomfortable.
You're just wearing, I think this is just bike shorts. Is what you're wearing.
Essentially, without the padding. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, now everybody knows what I wear under my pants. This film, Resurrections. Overall, I think I enjoyed it. But there were a number of moments where I was like, what? What? It doesn't compute. It's got issues. It's got some major issues that I just can't overlook. And
but maybe we can talk them out. Because I think some of your issues are, how does that make sense? And so maybe those are things we can
I see them as major plot holes that they just kind of hand waved to make the narrative that they wanted to tell work.
Okay.
But they don't make any sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try to hash out the ones. Mine aren't things we can hash out. Mine are like technical issues or character issues or whatever. But I'd be curious to see if we can turn some of yours around.
Yeah. But I like, so that's my initial impression, but like to kind of, I don't know. They're not, it's not just like an issue that it's wrecking the plot of the film.
Yeah.
It's issues that are like going against the canon that they've already established.
Okay, so let's
for a few of them.
Let's jump into that. Like let's talk about what are your issues?
Okay.
List your problems.
I think the biggest one is at one point we see a bunch of eggs that are on the ground.
Yeah.
Not ones that they have somehow
in the trap when they're coming up from the water and there's eggs everywhere.
The trap, there's that one. But then I think you could even go further and go, where did they get the eggs from?
Right. Well, yeah,
because they're working from a point of, the scientists are working from a point of zero.
Yeah.
They don't have Ripley, they don't have an alien.
We assume. They never explicitly say that.
I think it's safe to assume that. That's the whole reason that that's the whole reason that they're trying to clone Ripley and get an alien specimen out of her.
Unless they had, so keep going, because you should finish your grievance, but I think there's a couple of possible explanations.
Okay. Well, I think from what I've viewed of the film, that's the assumption that we're supposed to take as the audience.
Right.
That being said, she gives birth to, she spawns a queen.
Yeah.
Okay. I could track that, like they're using her old DNA that was found on the prison of the third aliens,
which would have been taken from her at a time when she was impregnated with the.
Okay, so we can headcanon that somehow her DNA
and it's cloning technology
somehow intermixed with
it's cloning technology like 1,000 years from now,
and they're able to separate them but still grow them both at the same time.
And it wasn't and not without 7 flaws prior to, right? Like this is the 8th iteration.
Horrible flaws.
Yeah, 8th iteration of trying to get this to work.
I think I can not handwave, but I accept that kind of premise that the film sets.
That somehow they were able to do that.
Somehow they were able to make Ripley a human with a alien symbiote inside.
In a world where you have cubes of
not a symbiote, parasite.
In a world where you have cubes of just add water whiskey, which was actually super sick.
That was very cool. Yeah.
Then sure.
Yeah, sure. I can accept that.
But that's easy, because I thought that was so easy. I thought that was going to be one of your things. We're going to have to talk that whole the how did that cloning work thing.
Oh,
right. No. And I was like, It's a future technology. It's sci-fi
Yeah.
movie technology.
With the way that they show the clones being kind of intermixed with the thing, and them having it felt like a throwaway line, but it actually means something after you see the 7 clones that they were crossing genetics early. Yeah, however the phrase went.
Yeah.
So I can take that. That's fine. I accept that. It doesn't wreck the movie for me.
Okay.
But what does is, if they had no aliens previously and no Ripley previously, all of that was cloned. The clone the alien queen that they did create was not a normal alien queen.
No.
It was an alien human hybrid
Had a womb and was able to birth.
Yeah. Yeah. And a human alien hybrid.
Yeah.
An even more human alien.
So where did the eggs come from?
So where did the eggs come from?
So
where did the eggs that they used to initially make aliens come from? Where did the eggs that were made to set the trap come from? Because we saw how the alien laid eggs in the second one.
Yeah. It's got like a big
yeah. Like it was they made it very explicit how this process happens.
Yeah.
And our alien from the torso down didn't have anything to make that process happen.
So I have 2 potential explanations in my head. Like 2 things that jump out to me. We could also Google it and see what.
'Cause that was a lot of eggs. If you think about it,
an alien.
They made 12 aliens, so you got 12 eggs before we saw the trap, and in the trap there was at least a dozen or more on top of that. So you're looking at 20 to 40 eggs.
Yeah.
That alien queen did not lay those eggs.
Queen's DNA had been combined and cloned with Ripley's, which allowed the production of a second reproductive cycle using the womb. Well, okay. The Queen's... So this is what Google's saying. The Queen's DNA, and I don't know if this makes any sense because I haven't actually read it yet. The Queen's DNA had been combined with cloned Ripley's, which allowed her to produce a second reproductive cycle using a womb and a live birth, resulting in the newborn. The scientists then extracted the xenomorph embryo and raised it, including collecting its eggs for further study.
The second embryo? So the white thing was a queen? The white human alien hybrid was a queen too?
Don't they have a little explanation that says she goes through the normal egg-laying cycle, then gets another human influenced cycle? I'm fairly certain this is correct. So it looks like there was a line of exposition that maybe we missed.
That wasn't very clearly.
She laid a bunch of eggs.
Explicitly let us know that this is how it was working.
this person here is saying is lining up with sort of maybe one of my thoughts. He explains that it was the alien normal. Then she went through a human birth.
So, okay. Here's what I hear that saying. I've heard enough, I think. So here's what I hear it saying. The alien life cycle is egg, face hugger, parasite bursts out, and
chest burster,
chest bursts, and then the parasite's the chest burster, and then alien. And for the queen, it adds 2 more. It adds queen normal, but laying eggs, and then a final stage, queen giving birth.
Just this queen, because it was mixed with human DNA.
This queen. That's what I hear it saying.
Yes. So I think that's what I'm understanding here. So that was going to be one of my... I was going to say, option 1, we already have seen that these creatures go through several metamorphoses.
Right.
And so I was going to say maybe one of those stages before it reached its final...
You were going to say what they said.
Alien Ripley. The other thing that I was going to suggest, which seems kind of pointless now because it seems like this is our canon and we can just go with it. But had we not found that, or you had not found that satisfactory, the other thing I was going to say is, well, maybe they're bringing Ripley back because they have whoever this company is, whatever they're, because this is no longer the original company, right?
No.
That's sort of explained. But they have found some eggs. They have eggs. What they don't have is a queen. So they have a limited number of eggs. And that's why they're bringing Ripley back, because they know she has a queen in her.
Yeah. That one seems less plausible to me. I can kind of accept the other one. I think the movie does a poor job of explaining that. Like they had
it sounds like we missed something.
There was
we were talking a bit.
Kind of like when they kind of had that line near the beginning about how Ripley is part alien.
Yeah.
In the cloning process, there was probably a quick line that we missed again later on, which I think they could have easily shown us. Like a lot of current movies have this problem where they tell and don't show. Where a lot of more often than not in a movie, it's better to show and not tell.
Right.
I think the movie had a great opportunity to kind of show us that this alien queen had 2 birth cycles because we had kind of a moment where one of the scientists has a face-to-face with the queen.
Right.
It could have been very easily for the camera to kind of pull back from the chamber a bit and kind of, as it's kind of before it changes scenes, kind of pans down to show the alien is popping out a couple eggs,
right,
into a chamber or on a conveyor belt or whatever, right, to another secure location. I think that it would have cost them $5-6. Maybe it's in the extended edition that we almost watched but didn't. But yeah, I think I can accept the explanation we found, but the movie does a very poor job of explaining that.
Resurrection was created through genetic engineering, which may have affected her reproductive capabilities. While she can give live birth to a hybrid creature, the human xenomorph, it's possible that her ability to produce eggs was not entirely eliminated. The xenomorph life cycle is not strictly linear. Different queens may have different abilities or reproductive. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing too, right? This was not a normal queen.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things about, like, that's why the kind of human birth element of that we find is not an obtrusive kind of that's not possible thought, because it's been established.
It's part Ripley.
In the film. No, it's been established in the films that the chest burster takes on traits of its host.
Right.
The cow alien from 3 is more feral and doesn't think things through,
just like
because
cows.
It's a feral. It came from an animal with a lower intelligence.
That's what you think.
Cows are super smart.
Have you spent much time around cows?
Oh yeah, they're so smart.
Especially the chocolate milk ones.
Yeah, they're good. Do you know what's even smarter than the chocolate milk ones?
What?
Strawberry milk ones.
Strawberry milk is disgusting.
That's what they're so smart. They're
like no one will want
the cows
this.
Are pink cows, man. Those pink cows, they're smart.
They're like, leave my milk alone. It's gross. You don't want it.
Yeah. Only their babies get it. They're smart.
So what else? So that was one thing.
Yeah.
That you had, and I feel like we've kind of amended it.
I think we've amended it. I think the film doesn't show us it well,
right?
And therefore it still is a bit of a problem.
And maybe that's something missing in those extra 15 minutes from the director's cut.
Yeah. One of the other really big ones was the moment when our what's her name? Bring up my thing.
Ripley or Cole?
Call. 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 Winona Ryder's character. She gets shot. She falls down into the water where they just came from.
Yeah.
There's a big, long scene. Then, the door's about to open. And she's on the other side.
Yeah.
Why didn't everybody else just go that way?
Because they didn't know that way existed.
She doesn't know that way exists.
No, until she's down in the water and has 10 minutes to find a different. To me, that's not a sticking point at all.
It's bad. Cause here's why it doesn't make. Here's another layer to this. Why it's bad.
Okay.
They have with them not one but two people who do know this ship very well.
Right.
They don't say, "Hey, let's go this way," because then we can avoid this shaft and we can,
right,
and not have to worry about the door. And
okay,
it doesn't make sense. You know what it reminded me of, and it blew my mind when I saw this. I seen a reel. From a podcast. I keep getting this. My algorithm keeps throwing me short reels from this another movie podcasters.
Why?
That kind of do what we do. I don't know. I find them interesting, and I watch them, so it suggests more to me. But anyway, these guys they kind of do.
Can you spell infidelity to me right now?
I still listen to our stuff.
No, you don't.
We have an open relationship.
You don't. You listen to the stuff with Pete and I. You're so kinky.
Why would I listen to my own stuff?
You want nothing to do with our relationship, but you'll happily be a voyeur into the world of Pete and I.
Yeah?
You're gross.
You listen to your own stuff?
No, I don't listen to any of it. That's not true. Sometimes.
Well, you're on all of it.
I'm on. I know it all.
Yeah. Anyway, they like to do the kind of like, have you ever noticed about this and this movie, or the kind of headcanon things for like linking movies that have the same actor,
right?
But the movies aren't linked at all.
This is why this movie and this movie is the same universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they do one with what's his name? The actor who plays the cop in Die Hard. He's
Bruce Willis.
No,
he
gets the Twinkie.
He was also in.
They like connect him to a whole bunch of films and Family Matters and
Reginald Vell Johnson.
Anyway, these guys were like, did you ever notice in The Rock with Sean Connery and slipping my name. Nicolas Cage, thank you. That Sean Connery, when they first get into The Rock, right?
Yeah.
And there's the furnace area, and he's got all the things memorized. The fire.
Right.
And he rolls through, and then he comes around and he unlocks a door so everybody can come in.
Right.
And they point out, why does he need to memorize? Why did he need to memorize that in the first place?
Because that's how he escaped.
He's leaving. The lock is on the inside where he's leaving from. He could have just, when he was leaving, he could have just unlocked the door and left.
Wow, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so the movie you had us watch is stupid.
I didn't make us watch that one. It was a collective thing, and you guys dragged me into it.
Oh, yeah. It was a vote, I think, or something. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what this reminded me. I was like, why didn't they all just go around?
Yeah. And that's right. You know what? I'll concede that it was a little bit of a convenient plot device.
Yeah.
But it's pretty minor. Like it's not a movie ruining thing.
I'll give you that it was minor. It was amplified because I seen that The Rock thing recently.
Right.
So it's just like immediately triggered this thing in my mind, which is more egregious when you think about it.
Well, sure.
That moment from The Rock is more egregious than this.
I mean, I'd have to go back and watch the scene. Right, because right now I get what you're saying happens in it, but it's not like, without me seeing it, already thinking about that being an issue. I can't quite visualize how absurd it is.
Yeah.
But
well, you don't notice it when you don't think about it when you watch the film, because they do a really good job of like making the moment tense, and then like, oh, he just abandoned them and the mission's over with.
And
then
you know what?
he unlocks the door.
I feel like had you not, obviously we can't say for certain because this is a what if kind of story. But I feel like had you not had that stuff fresh in your mind, you may not have noticed this either.
I might not have,
because I think they're banking on it being overshadowed by the shock. Not that, hey, she found a way around, but that she's
still
that it's
alive.
her, that she's standing there, right?
Yeah. And yeah, like it's definitely I concede that it's probably not as egregious as it felt to me watching it, but it does because I see.
Well, and I mean that's also the tricky thing about what we do, right?
Yeah.
Because so often, in order to enjoy a certain film or a certain type of film, like movies are really banking on you shutting your brain off a little bit and just going for a fun journey, which I think is kind of what these alien movies have meant
definitely.
to. It's the fun, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, like 2 for sure.
And so the tricky thing about what we do is it's like, well, we're
looking to pick it
when we're
apart.
doing this, we're not afforded the ability of shutting our brains off, because then when it's time to turn them back on to sit and talk about it, it's like,
don't remember what I watched.
It was fun, right?
Good show. Good show. Good show.
So is that it? That's kind of your big crap on it things?
I feel like there was another one, but I can't remember it right now.
So it couldn't have been too egregious.
Maybe not. Yeah.
I'll tell you
Those
mine.
are the big standouts, though.
I'll tell you mine. Mine really just comes down to 3 things.
Okay.
2 of them are pretty minor. One's a little bit bigger, but is still didn't ruin the movie.
Not a
for
game
me.
changer.
Yeah, not a game changer. The 2 minor ones, I think they've. I mean, yes, there's been 5 years of advancements, so that's a part of it. The CGI is implemented much better in this film when it's used, and I think that there's still moments that could have easily been done practical, but they chose to do CGI, and those bothered me, right? Like, just moments where it's like, you didn't even try to put someone in the suit and have them pull them through the water or use wires to... That
would have been hard and probably dangerous.
Sure, but they do that crap for films all the time, right?
Okay.
I mean, the water one's a bad example, right?
Yeah.
But like to have it like running down the hall or whatever, you could have put a person in a suit for that.
Yeah, I think the water one is definitely a bad example because it's moving like a shark or a snake.
Yeah, so that was a bad example.
You're not going to get that as a practical effect.
Well, again, you'd need to actually be pulling them on cables.
It would have
so
to be
that they
animatronic.
Or that.
Human
right?
bodies don't move like that.
But so anyways, there were some shots where it could have been done practically. They chose to do it CGI. There are a lot of shots where they could have used CGI, but they chose to do it practically, and I commend them for that because it looked great. This is as far as practical effects go, this is the most slimy, creepy, and visceral that the aliens have looked so far.
With the exception of that bug at the beginning of the extended edition.
Yeah, we did. We put the extended edition on for like a couple of minutes, and we're like...
You had problems with the audio.
The audio, it was real quiet.
Snob.
Yeah.
And then you realized, it's on Disney.
It's on Disney Plus. Let's just watch it on Disney Plus. We don't need to watch
which was not
copy.
The extended edition.
No. Yeah. It rarely is on streaming services. But
it's just wild that they don't offer you both. Like, you've got one. The other ones you probably obviously have in your catalog. Just put both of them on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially with Disney, right? Because Disney's not... It's Fox, which Disney owns. Yeah. Disney, unlike Netflix or other streaming services where they're like, yeah, we have a lot of our own stuff, but we're also willing to shell out for the rights of other things. Disney's not in that game.
Yeah.
Disney's like, we own everything.
Yeah.
We own
It's ours.
We own Fox, Disney, Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars,
Yeah.
Discovery.
Yeah.
No, not Discovery. National Geographic.
Oh, yeah.
So like we don't
Yeah.
we don't need your shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not looking for give royalties out to somebody else.
So the aliens look great. And when they did use CGI, several times the CGI would be obscured by some smoke or some steam, which also did a lot of heavy lifting for hiding the So the first little tiny nitpicky, really insignificant thing is there were still some moments where I wish either the CGI was better or that they had chose to use practical. Nitpicky thing number 2, there's a couple of moments where like the acting's just kind of janky, right? Where like for the most part, I think the acting in this is phenomenal. But like when the chest burster's finally coming out of that one doctor guy and he's screaming and the guy that works at the facility that he's holding in front of him and he's screaming and we just get this close up of the two of them screaming. And I'm just like, okay. Like this got real weird all of a sudden. Like got real janky.
I'm hugging you.
Not a fan. So both of those are real insignificant.
Right.
The one that's a little bit bigger, but not a game changer for me, and I'm sort of torn about, like, I could go either way. I'm not a fan of... I like what they chose to do in terms of Ripley.
Right.
I like the idea of it's Ripley, but it's not Ripley.
Right.
Having said that, I don't like this Ripley. Does that make sense? Right? Like I'm intrigued by the idea. On paper, I go, oh, that's really cool. And is a reason to justify bringing her back because it adds a fun twist. But then while watching it, I'm going, this is lacking a certain...
Je ne sais quoi.
Right? Like it's lacking a Ripley quality that...
It's lacking an umami flavor.
Well, that we've come to know and love, right? So it's kind of like going over to a friend's house and their mom's made lasagna and you're like, it's good. Like it's lasagna. I love lasagna. It's not my mom's, right? Like there's something a little bit different. Still lasagna. Grateful to have lasagna. And you know what? Adding whatever to it, you decided to chop up and layer in asparagus, you weirdo. Intriguing. Interested. But then on paper or in practice, yeah, I missed Ripley being the concerned, the most experienced one in the room who is both feet planted on our side, and
there's a little bit of a gentleness to her, but a ferocity.
A ferocity and a really over this shit Ripley who is ready to bang her head off the walls because these scientists, these doctors, these companies just can't get it through their thick skull. This is a bad idea. Stop it.
Yeah.
This Ripley was like, at times you don't know what to make of her because she's killing the aliens, but she's also rubbing faces with them.
And
the rubbing the face at the end was a trick in order to be able to kill it. I get that.
But at the same time, she was sad to do it.
Yes.
And when she does kill one of the few aliens that actually dies in this, she's like questioned on it. She's like, I didn't want to. It felt like I didn't want to do it, but it was in my way.
Yeah.
It's like, So
not even that she didn't.
I understand
want to
what
do
you're.
it.
I understand what you're saying because the whole movie, you feel like, is she on their team? Is she on her own team?
Is she going to turn? Is Paul right about her?
Well, it's like one of three things. Is she on her own team? Is she on the aliens team or is she on everyone else's, our team, we'll say.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just.
Yeah. It did feel weird. Like, because we've gone through 3 movies with her.
So it makes.
And now her character is starkly different.
Yeah,
like,
and don't get me wrong, it makes
contrast.
sense to switch it up.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like and that's the part that I admire. That's the part that I like.
It isn't her.
Yeah,
it's a clone, and not just a straight clone. She's technically an alien human hybrid. You know, she's got acidic acid in her blood.
Yeah,
she's got fingernails that are black and talony. You know, seems to have some strength, enhanced strength, and probably agility and other things there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Those are my big issues.
It seems to me that it would make more sense for these scientists, having known what's happened in the last 3, like. There's got to be some sort of history.
200 years ago.
Well,
but then also, yeah, why did
there's some sort of history? Like, there's got to be some sort of records about the dangers of this alien species.
Well, sure,
right?
But greed, right?
But
like,
greed.
The company knew about the dangers,
but you've just cloned a human alien hybrid.
Yeah.
That has. If I'm a scientist, if I'm a CEO of the company and I'm looking at alien that's hard to control, we hope we can control it, but there's a good chance we can't. And if we can't, it's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
But over here, we have alien human hybrid that's 80-90% human, but also has a lot of this strengths and none of the negatives of the full-blown alien.
Well, it has negatives in that. I don't know that you could control Ripley.
It's not as Ripley, yes, can't control Ripley potentially. But I got a whole bunch of soldiers over here who like following orders.
Right.
And fighting for the flag or fighting for the corporation or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Clone them.
Yeah.
Right? And on top of that, Ripley isn't a soldier. She's fierce.
She's a pilot.
And she's capable.
She's a lieutenant.
She's fierce and she's capable. But like as we've seen in number 2,
I mean, she's
not really a soldier.
She's kind of become a soldier.
She's
been hardened into one.
She's by necessity.
Yeah,
right?
Trial by fire.
Yeah. But yeah, like you take a born bred soldier, clone them with those alien traits.
Yeah.
That's a machine that I think a corporation would want, or something a corporation would want to invest in over an untamable alien.
I mean, I also wonder though how much like this new company.
Yeah.
Obviously knew about the aliens.
They knew enough
to be able to be doing this and pursuing
they knew the biology, they knew about how they kind of worked face huggers and all that stuff.
But I do, and I don't know to what extent this would. I have a feeling though that the majority of people wouldn't know, because it would seem to me
the top brass scientists
even then. Because it seems to me like a company from the first 3 films that is as big and as powerful as it is did a shit ton of work to cover up all of these deaths and all of these mishaps and all of these PR nightmares as a result of the events of the first 3 films.
Yeah. Well, this is something that we don't get any information on, how much they know. They obviously know enough that the chest burster about how the chest burster comes out, and that to take it early, and that way you don't damage the host.
But they
know that the eggs spawn the face huggers, and the face huggers, they know enough to create this whole facility, and create it in a way that is safe. The one thing they seem to slip up on and not not think about was
The
acid blood.
which is so cool. Like, that's a great scene.
Yeah. Two aliens are like, hey,
We're going to kill
let's get
this
John.
one. Yeah.
John's a dick anyway. Let's kill him. And John's like, no, guys, don't hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't want to die, guys.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
The fact that two of them killed the third one in order to get his blood or its blood
All
in
over the
order
place.
to melt
Yeah.
away out of their cell was amazing.
Yeah. Which, how they knew all of that, but they didn't realize, like, they've been dealing with these things for obviously long enough that they know enough to create this whole process, but they didn't at any point realize that the blood was acid.
You know what,
didn't have
though?
Countermeasures.
I can say two words.
I didn't even think about, like, I don't think it's a detriment to the film
No.
because I didn't think about it till just now.
And,
but
and I can say two words that unravel that entire argument.
there isn't a metal that is.
That's more than two words.
What?
Jurassic Park. No, it's the entire plot of Jurassic
Yeah.
Park, right? They
Yeah.
knew raptors and T-Rexes ate people. What they didn't take into account is, what if the power goes out? What if we
Right.
lose power? Because that's the entire plot.
It's an oversight.
The entire
Yeah.
issue of the first Jurassic Park film is just a power outage,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden, the electric fences don't work anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. Something real stupid simple. You realistically.
Backup generators are a thing,
You'd have
guys.
generators on generators on generators on
Yeah.
generators,
So many fail safes.
right? Because it really is. Aside from that, they had taken every, it's not until you get to like Jurassic World where they're like, which is a little bit maybe even more like this film, because they're like, now we're playing around with genetics. We're going to make our own.
You made it invisible?
Yeah. Well, one of the absolute. Well, see, they didn't even, not intentionally, right?
Yeah, they
like
didn't
that was
even
the thing,
realize
is it just took on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Jurassic World trilogy, but that line from Chris Pratt where he's like, "So you just went ahead and made a new dinosaur." Probably shouldn't have done that. Such a great, like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Or probably not a good idea is what he says. Yeah. What do you think of, obviously we have to talk about the hybrid.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
Creepy AF.
Yeah.
Man, that thing was.
Wait, so that's good. That's
Wild.
a good. To me, that's a positive descriptor word,
Yeah.
right? Because it was either going to go one of two
Yeah.
ways. It was either going to go, yeah, you know what? It's creepy and it's furthering the story. It's further fleshing out the world of Alien,
It's further fleshing out
creating new canon.
Well, it's not. I don't even think it's new canon. I think it's just
It's canon.
furthering existing canon, stretching the existing canon that the alien
Which is
species
new
adopts
canon.
the
Same
genetics of its
Yeah,
hosts.
I think 6 to 1, half a dozen. I think we're saying the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
But or it was gonna, or you were gonna go the other way and be like, "Oh, come on," right? Like that's a totally valid response to this as well. I also like it. We don't really get to see it in action, but I kind of wonder if maybe we get to see it in about as much action as it actually could. Like I'm almost wondering if it's like a Jeff Goldblum The Fly type of thing, right? Where it's like it's when it goes through, and all of a sudden it's like not quite half. You know the moment that happens at the end of the film, right before they completely kill the fly, and he's like,
I've never seen it.
"You've never seen The Fly?"
No. Add it to the list.
Holy shit. Okay. So anyways, I wonder if, like Ripley, we have 3 new species here essentially, right? We have the new evolved queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have Ripley.
Yeah, Ripley
who's a
would
new
count in
species.
that. Yeah.
And then we have the hybrid.
Yeah.
And the hybrid is the only one that scientists have not directly had a hand in. right? It is
I
just the
remember what the
byproduct.
third one was now.
It's just the byproduct of what they've created. And so I wonder if, like, it would be a huge assumption to say that the hybrid was in any way superior or even equal to a xenomorph.
Right.
Like, yes, it's able to punch the jaw off the xenomorph, but off the queen, but that is just because the queen's unsuspecting.
And already in a lot of pain. And
Already in a lot of pain, right?
Out of
and
it,
so
yeah.
I kind of wonder if it wouldn't have been that hard to take this thing down in a fight.
Yeah,
if it's sort of a mutilated.
It doesn't look as armored or protected as
No.
a black xenomorph.
It looks like it may even be in some kind of pain, right? Like, I wonder if it's only somewhat better, like definitely better, but if it's not that much better than some of the shit that was in the tank from the first 7 attempts.
Maybe it's more intelligent or something.
Maybe.
Like or maybe it's stealthy because it seemed to get around that cargo hold without people noticing it pretty good. But yeah, the whole idea of the xenomorphs is the truest form of evolution.
Yeah,
right?
they're super
keeping the best, throwing out the rest.
Yeah.
So if that principle follows through to our human alien hybrid birthed alien, then there's that potential. But, I mean, yeah, does human birth work that way? I don't know. Maybe not. We're pretty flawed people.
Yeah.
Especially like there's arguments out there that in the last 100 years, because we've lived softer lives, we've allowed the genetic gene pool to get weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be stronger or more powerful or whatever. I'm sure it has its advantages and over normal alien or not, and probably some weaknesses. But I remembered my third big kind of like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, how does that work? Was how did the queen get impregnated for phase 2 of birthing cycle? Right? If it's phase 2 birth cycle, which we get our final alien from, is taken from human physiology, well, last time I knew about birds and the bees, and I got 2 kids, so I mean, it takes 2 to tango to make the baby. So who's the daddy? And when was the deed done?
You don't need one. You don't need one. Because up until this point, right, up until this point, this species has always exhibited asexual reproduction. Always. Those eggs aren't fertilized by a father prior to the facehugger coming out.
You could say that, I think there's an argument to be made that the host is kind of that second component.
You could.
I think it's a weak argument. I'm not going to die on that hill.
You could, but you could also say that, its first form, its birth, is it coming out as the facehugger. Because the facehugger dies off immediately.
What came first, the egg or the queen?
And that it just needs, that yes, it's incubating, or it's growing inside.
Great. Okay.
But it's using the human body as protection, not as fertilization.
Okay. So up until this point, I can easily concede that the alien reproduction cycle is asexual. Sure. Fair. But the aliens get their genetic material from the secondary genetic material from a host after the facehugger implants whatever it implants, because it does take on genetic material from a host. They take on
some attributes. Yeah.
Where does the genetic material come from for are birthed alien?
Because
Does it come from Ripley when the queen is birthed from Ripley?
no,
That seems like a stretch.
well, I think in the sense that this queen is already part Ripley. So that incubation process is all happening within the right. Like what we're seeing, this birthing thing is how the queens have always, how this species has always operated, except instead of the queen needing to lay an egg that turns into a face hugger, that turns into a chest burster, that turns into a smaller, less freaky white xenomorph, that then turns into the actual big, crazy, scary one. All of those phases are being bypassed, and the queen is then able to grow a xenomorph to full size inside of her.
Fair. Where does the secondary genetic material come from?
In her case, Ripley, because she's already part Ripley.
Right. But if that's the case, how come this xenomorph is not the queen is not birthing another similar queen? Instead, it's birthing an even more human xenomorph.
You're asking me to explain xenomorph biology.
It felt weird and stretchy. This felt kind of canon breaking to me a little bit. Right? You're already adapting, you're already using initial canon to say this queen is different because it came from Ripley.
Right.
Okay. A cloned Ripley at that.
Which inherently means none of the same rules have to apply, because this is a species we've never seen before. This is the first of its kind.
For its reproductive cycles, sure.
Yes.
But when you introduce, and they say it many times, it has, or not many times, at least once, that it's got a human reproductive cycle component. Well, human reproductive cycles aren't asexual.
No. Yeah. I mean, I think
I don't know. Having that scientist up there explaining everything to us, maybe hurt the situation.
Sure.
I don't think if you didn't have him up there and it just birthed this thing, maybe I wouldn't have as big an issue. I don't feel like I'm too nitpicky here.
Here's an idea.
Like, because he's saying like, oh, it's adapted human reproductive, it's going to give birth, and he's rambling on, and I'm like, human, where's dad?
Right.
Right. I don't know.
So I think, okay. So in regular human reproduction, right, you are 50% of the genetic material from your mom. You are 50% of the genetic material from your dad.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think it's pretty clear based on appearance and skin color that the hybrid is 50% xenomorph and 50% Ripley.
I would agree.
And
I would say 50% human, but Ripley's obviously where that's coming
is
from.
Is where that genetic material is coming from. And so I don't know.
And see, so
much like I don't know enough about human reproduction, like the egg fertilization, like what's happening on a chemical, biological level. There is, in theory, I'd be hella surprised if I found out that the one swimmer from your dad was the exact same size and mass as the egg from your mom. Probably not. In fact, we know it's not, because
it's smaller.
The sperm is much smaller than the egg. And so I think this is probably it, but it's still able to get 50% of your genetic makeup from each. And so I think I think this is the same thing. Even if the queen is only 10% Ripley.
Right.
it's still asexual, and it is still able to pull 50% of its offspring's genetic makeup from that 10%, 20%, whatever it is, of Ripley that it's got in it to form something that is half and half.
See,
and again, this is just I'm shooting in the dark here.
We're not
right?
biologists.
No, we're not biologists, and this is a fictional being.
In my mind, that doesn't work. It doesn't compute, because the alien queen, Ripley's its mama, right? So, in my mind, it has 50% of Ripley. It's 50% Ripley, 50% queen. It doesn't look it, but that, like, if we're gonna go with a 50-50 rule of thumb, then it's 50-50 Ripley. So at best, whatever it gives birth to without any other genetic material can only be 50-50, and therefore would look the same.
Like, sorry, so let me the queen is 50-50?
Yeah.
No, there's no way, because it doesn't look half like Ripley.
No, I know, but like, let's use the kind of human standard that you've set.
Why would
right?
it be 50-50?
So you're 50% your mom, you're 50% your dad.
Yeah.
You have a kid. It's not 50% your mom and 50% your dad.
No.
It's now 25%, 25%.
Well, it's 50. It's 50% me and 50% my wife.
Which is 25% your mom and 25% your dad and 25% your in-laws and 20.
I guess. Yeah.
Right. So, like, that genetic material doesn't fully pass on to the next generation
in humans.
So either the alien is birthed by Ripley, the alien queen.
No, it bursts. Yes. No, it bursts out of her chest,
which makes it hit the mama.
No,
makes it. She calls it. She says it many times. I gave birth. I'm the mom. I don't know if she says mom. Yeah, but she says I gave birth to it.
Yeah, but she's also not quite human, doesn't have all of her memories intact, and is a reproduction that is
so she's
part
she's
xenomorph.
She's 75% human, 25% xenomorph to begin with. And she gives birth to this queen who's now 25% human and 75% xenomorph.
Right. So you still have 100 and 100% altogether.
Right.
Okay.
So at best, the xenomorph, without any genetic material, can only pass on 25% human genetic material to its offspring.
No.
It can't give more than it already has.
Right, but you're taking human biology laws and you're applying it to a xenomorph.
I think this would be standard biology laws. Like, and there's no new genetic material.
And you're also taking...
It can't give it more genetic material than it already has.
This is not a straight up run-of-the-mill... Right, so human biology doesn't apply because we're talking about xenomorphs.
Right.
And xenomorph biology doesn't fully apply because we were talking about a genetic recreation that was grown in a lab. Right? We're talking about a genetically altered...
Right.
Right? So back to Jurassic Park, it's like saying, well, dinosaurs don't turn invisible. Well, they do when you make them in a lab and you start throwing in all kinds of extra shit. When it's your 8th iteration and your goal is to do something very specific, right? This was their end goal. This was those scientists. This is not a freak accident. This is what they were trying to do. And so...
okay. So here, I think... I can headcanon this to make it make more sense.
Okay.
Or even like in the vein that you're doing, you said end goal.
This was their goal. And so whatever they did in the lab.
No, like, well, I think that's the thing. And maybe he said this, maybe the guy said this in his rambling when
he just said beautiful, beautiful butterfly and then fell into the...
But before everything went to crap.
Yeah.
They were...
Thank you for not saying what you're about to say.
They were playing with this queen.
Yeah.
right? Obviously getting eggs from it and other
Yeah.
stuff. If their end goal is for it to have, if they knew it was going to have this second stage birthing mutation,
Yeah.
they could have given it more human
an extra
DNA
dose of
to
for sure.
to implant and then create this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all by design.
Yeah. I think that sells it for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but because again, looping back to human biology doesn't apply, and xenomorph biology
I agree
doesn't
with
apply.
you. Well, I think xenomorph biology still applies because it's either human or xenomorph. It's still human or xenomorph.
But
and xenomorphs always take on more traits of the host that they're implanted in.
But it's human and well, we'd say always. We've seen it come out of a cow once and act a little bit differently than the others did. We don't have a rule book on how that happens.
It's I think it's established,
but it is. Yes, xenomorph biology applies to an extent, but we still don't know. Without having read through the notes of what all they did in that lab, we don't know.
But
we decided on iteration 8 to blast it with all kinds of radiation.
I think what makes the most sense is while they had the queen before things went to crap, they added more genetic material
or whatever. Yeah,
because they knew
the scientists did something to
Yeah.
create this result.
Yeah.
Are you ready to rank this thing?
You don't want to talk about more biology?
I really don't. Now it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm not that into biology.
You want to talk about the birds and the bees?
I don't think the queen had sex with Ripley. If that's
good, because neither do
I'll stand. I will die on that hill. I'll stand my ground.
I'm sure there's
fan fiction somewhere.
There's fan fiction or even a movie out there for it
because people are gross.
What was it? Rule 52 or whatever?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't know, and I don't want to know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Happily.
All right, let's rate it.
All right. So I gave the first Alien a 7.6.
Right.
I gave the second one a 6.6. It was 1 whole point below.
Right.
And I gave Alien 3 a 5.5. So it was 1.1 points even below that. What I was already thinking about giving it is completely in line with what I said prior of where it fell in the rankings. I'm giving it a 7. Just a nice, well-rounded 7 out of 10.
Interesting.
I think it's fun. I'm not a huge fan of Ripley in this film. But I don't think that's necessarily because I have any, it's a fun journey to go on watching Ripley in this film.
Right.
I think I just long for the Ripley we know and love. And so that left me wanting. Yeah, it left me wanting. What say you?
All right. Man. I was going to give it a 7 or a 6.5.
But
I feel like having not talked it out, I probably would have given it a 6.5. Having talked it out and kind of some of those beefs I had are kind of self-induced from watching reels.
And watching other crap.
Or there's maybe some explanation there, but even though I have to dig for it, I definitely don't think it's as good as the first or second one. I think the second one's still better than it, so I'll give it a 7.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, 2 7s
for a nice 14 out of 20.
Yeah.
Or
should we do totals next time? Well, next time around, we should do like a total for the movie. Like an out of 20 total.
I mean, I guess you just take our scores and add them together. It's not
it
would interesting.
It would add like another metric to kind of
to
track and to kind of go, oh, this movie, if you rate a movie bad and I rate it really good, then it kind of balances it out in the kind of overall score. Of,
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
we could do all the division necessary to, like, at the end of all this, because you can also find those numbers. It doesn't have to be for the next time. Like you could.
In Excel. It's very easy.
We
to
could end this whole
add those
thing
up and
by having some sort of
amalgamated score.
a percentage, right?
Yeah, or
that,
even a
like,
percentage,
you know,
yeah.
that 73% of the time my movie taste is, or whatever, right? Like I don't know,
your picks
that thing doesn't
yeah.
translate to actual, but
There's all kinds of
fun numbers we could play with.
yeah, different equations you can throw into Excel to get different kind of results.
Yeah.
That would be fun to look at.
Before we tell each other what we watched this week, there's two things I want to touch on real quick.
You bought me a monkey?
Two pieces of movie news that have popped up. These are going to be super short because you're not going to care about the first one.
You didn't buy me a monkey.
No. The second one I think we can discuss real quick because it's kind of interesting. The first one is something that I should be excited about, but I'm just kind of okay. They announced the other day that Beetlejuice 3 is in production.
Beetlejuice.
I guess. And I should be over the moon, but I really didn't like the second one. Really didn't like it.
Underwhelmed, eh?
Super underwhelmed. So, you know, I'm going to go see it.
Sure.
I'll go see the third one. Sure, it's Beetlejuice. It's Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Tim Burton.
You know, we watched Winona Ryder's in
Probably Jenna Ortega.
Resurrections here that we just watched.
It's just one. It's just one resurrection.
and we watched it with star fan of the show,
Star fan,
right? Mr. Aaron Mater,
reoccurring guest. He's actually, by the time this comes out, he will either have just been on or will soon be on an episode about Superman 3.
Yeah. And there was a point where at the end, we just finished watching it, and he was just like, you know, I didn't get it, referring to like your fascination for her as like a sex symbol.
Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't.
No, it wasn't my fascination. He didn't understand. Like, he knew that Winona Ryder was considered to be a heartthrob.
Yeah.
And he said that he had only ever seen like Stranger Things Winona Ryder and thought she was just kind of old and whiny in it and didn't understand the appeal.
It. Yeah.
But yeah, he says, okay, I get it.
I still don't get it.
No,
I don't see it.
I mean, she's a real, she's like the OG Scream Queen. She's got the dark hair, the black eye makeup, and the pale skin. And so you have to kind of like that, like gothy emo type of thing. But that's fine.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know what's wrong with your wife seeing the appeal in you. So
you and me both.
Balances out.
Don't tell her.
You're like, I'm just as
don't
confused.
spook it. Don't jinx me.
So the other thing, we've talked a couple of times on the show, not for a really long time. Well, we talked about when, with the disappearance of physical media, right? DVDs, Blu-ray sales, stuff like that going the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
And we've talked about buying things digitally and having them in your digital library.
Yeah.
And how there's a little bit of uncertainty with that.
You own them, but do you really?
But do you? Because at any point, what if the company goes under?
Yeah.
And then
unless you can download it to a hard drive.
Yeah, which most don't let you do.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we've talked about that, right? And here's the thing, like, you also don't own when you buy a movie digitally. You're not necessarily buying a copy of the film. You're buying a license to be able to watch it, right?
Right.
What a lot of people don't realize is it's the same it is actually the same statement is true for when you bought a Blu-ray, a DVD, a VHS. You don't own that movie flat out. Because if you did, you could make copies of it, you could sell it, you could that's yours. No. You're still just buying the ability to be able to watch it. However, the difference is when the DVD's on your shelf, Sony, Universal, Warner Brothers, they can't say, "Yeah, we're revoking your ability to be able to watch it." But it is a fear. It's a fear with the digital stuff. Now, there's an interesting lawsuit happening in the States.
Ooh.
Because it's the States.
Yeah. Everybody sues everybody.
Sue, baby, sue. Even except people named Sue. Never sue a Sue. Ever.
They'll sue you.
Sue should never sue Sue.
Sue will sue you, though.
I hope not.
Sue,
I know a Sue? I don't think I know a Sue. I know a couple Sues. I know some Susans.
Sue will definitely sue you in the Sue.
In the Sue?
Yeah.
Like Sault Ste. Marie?
Yeah.
Such an obscure Canada reference. So there's a video game studio called Ubisoft. Who once upon a time
made good games.
Did incredible things. And rumor has it still, I actually I was sent a message today by someone saying, dude, if you have not yet played the new Ubisoft Avatar game, he's like, man. He's like, he says, I got Ubisoft Plus to mess around with the new Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I put about 10 hours into it. Whatever. I decided to give this a try. I'm telling you, it's like Far Cry, like old school Far Cry.
Oh, yeah.
But set in the Avatar universe. And the world is so full of life and so full of story. And so maybe Ubisoft's making good stuff. I don't know. Number of years back, Ubisoft released a game. They've now released 2 subsequent games in the series, but the big flagship entry, which was groundbreaking, absolutely revolutionary at the time, was a car racing game called The Crew.
Right.
And what was really crazy about The Crew is that the map that you were playing on was a recreation, a really scaled down recreation, but a recreation of the continental U.S., of the United States.
Right. You could drive from East Coast to West Coast.
East Coast to West Coast, north border to south border. And it would take, like, if you were going to drive from New York to LA, it was going to take like 3-4 hours of in-game driving time. So really scaled down, but still a significant sized map. Well, you could only ever play the game if you were, like, you had to be online to play because you were connecting to the Crew servers.
Right. You were playing with other people all the time.
Now, you didn't have to. You could just do your own thing. Or you could choose to challenge someone to a race or whatever.
Yeah.
Number of years ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago now, Ubisoft was like, hey, just so y'all know, we're discontinuing
closing up the server.
We're going to close up the server. Well, you couldn't download anything. You couldn't download a copy of the game map. You couldn't, which means I have a physical disc for the first Crew game. It's a paperweight.
It's useless.
Paperweight. Yeah. Won't do anything. So owning that physical media, I owned the disc. They still took away my ability to play.
This would be an interesting lawsuit.
So now a couple of people in the States are suing Ubisoft because they're like, it was our understanding that when I went and I bought your product, a physical copy of your product, and brought it home, that I was going to be able to play this game in perpetuity.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's a paperweight. What gives? So it'll just be interesting to see. I don't know how this is going to go.
It's wild because this isn't the first time this has happened. This has happened before.
I don't think they'll win because Ubisoft's stance on this is, hey, we were pretty clear when you bought this game. If you had read the fine print, if you had looked at the press, we made it very clear that you were buying a license to be able to use this.
You were paying for a service.
You were paying for a service.
Yeah.
This disc validated the fact that you had paid for that service.
Right.
But it didn't,
There are, have you ever heard, this is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. Did you ever hear of the game City of Heroes?
Yes.
It's old school MMO. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's like 20 years old, 20 years ago. Like 15, 17, maybe 18 years ago, maybe earlier than that. Within the last 15 to 20 years, they closed up the servers on it. You couldn't play the game on their servers anymore. Yeah. Now, there are people who have created like their own servers,
an open source
servers,
clone of it,
right? They're not charging people money.
Yep.
It uses the same game, like engine and stuff. Yeah. But it's hard to define that, and you got to be kind of a computer, know how to get into those worlds.
And it's not probably completely on the level.
Well, those companies usually, like MMO companies, usually don't have a problem with it as long as you're not charging money.
Right.
So there's already like the bit of a precedent set for game companies can do this.
Yeah.
What's really funny, like you talk about like your game being a paperweight.
Yeah.
Your hard copy. After the servers closed up for City of Heroes, like years later, like 5, 6, 7 years later, I found copies of it being sold at Walmart.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, by the way,
I was just like,
did you say anything to anyone?
No, I took a picture of it and I put it on. I shared it on my Facebook on the time back when I used Facebook more often for posting my own stuff. But I just thought it was hilarious. It's like, hey, anybody want to play City of Heroes? You could buy it for $10 and then not play it.
Yeah. See, because that's the type of thing I would say something to someone and be like, hey, just so you know, you guys should probably take this off the shelf. This game doesn't actually work anymore.
It was funny. Anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows, right? Like some of these MMOs, whether it's DLC, whether it's in-game loot and gear, whatever, people have sunk money.
Yeah, expansions.
In a year and a half, actually, no, 2 years. In 2 years and 2 weeks, Lord of the Rings Online will be 20 years old.
Yeah.
And they are. They're still, like, they've been putting shit out for it.
Yeah.
But someday it's going to be done.
Yep.
Someday they're going to turn that off.
And it's a service. And, yeah, services stop serving sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, restaurants are a service.
Yeah.
And they go under all the time.
Yeah. What'd you watch this week? Anyways, all that to say, it will be interesting if they do win.
It'll create a crazy precedent.
Completely restructure the way digital sales of movies and media in general play out.
Yeah, potentially.
Even if they don't win, because there'll still be the threats in the water. They'll go, okay, look, people care.
I don't think it will restructure anything. If the court case, if they win.
Yeah.
All that will happen is you'll get new warnings at the when you're booting up your game or when you open your game, whatever.
See, Ubisoft could make this real simple and just release it for anyone who owns the game. Here's a
download
130 gig download where you can download the world.
You can play all by your lonesome.
By your lonesome.
No, there's no other cars.
Which I always did anyway. So I know for a lot of people that would defeat the point of the game. For me, I don't want to play with other jackasses out there. I just want to drive around the States and do the missions.
Yeah. Anyway, what I watched. So last week I couldn't remember what we watched for a movie.
Yeah, you were like, I'm copping out.
Yeah. I remembered. I wrote it down. It's important. It's cool enough that I should mention it.
You should circle back.
Yeah. So it was Mufasa.
Oh yeah,
New Lion King.
Shit movie.
I did not mind it.
Yeah.
It definitely, like, the facial stuff kind of
They got weird with it.
Looked a little bit off.
They tried to they knee-jerk reaction to people's complaints about the other one, and took it too far.
Yeah, I would say it was noticeable, but it didn't ruin it for me.
Okay.
And I thought it was like for a prequel to a story that's been out in the ether forever. It was kind of cool to learn about where kind of Scar came from, and
yeah, it just felt so janky to me. The voice acting seemed bad. The like I said, we watched 15 minutes of it and we shut it off.
Yeah,
because we were just like, no,
really,
life's too short.
I didn't, and
we were stoked. We were so excited to watch it.
I thought the story was intriguing enough to keep watching.
Okay,
I don't think it was amazing.
I felt like it was just the stuff that we watched was
like
just a total rehash of
the Lion King and Lion King 1.5 are far superior to it.
Sure.
The original animateds.
Well, yeah.
But
yeah,
I
mean, you can't really compare it to that. You can only really compare it to the 2019 Lion King.
But I didn't mind it. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
Moving on.
All right.
Watch some more One Piece.
Yep. You done yet?
I am almost done. I've been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
Almost done the Wano arc. But now I am I've got eight episodes left.
Did you know for like a year and a half of this podcast, you were on Cake Island?
Yeah. Well,
so we're used to you giving the same report.
200 and something episodes.
Yeah.
for Wano. So, but no, it's 8 episodes left in Wano, and I'm going to take a little break and
regain your life.
Watch something else. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe play some video games with one of your best buddies.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't played video games with Aaron in a while.
Yeah. Wow. It gets real tiring reviving them every 2 minutes.
Mad Men with the missus.
Yeah.
It's a wild show, man. Such a fun watch. And then we did family movie night Friday and Saturday night.
Okay.
And we watched Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2.
Interesting.
Great films.
First one's pretty good.
Oh, they're both good. They're both the second one, like watching them back to back like that. The second one's just as good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a big. I think, with the exception. Hang on. I think there are only. I mean, I can't make this statement. It's so bold because I keep thinking of instances where I disagree with it. I would venture to say that there are only 2, possibly 3, to account for one that I'm not thinking of right now, truly great animated sequels ever. Ever.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know this because I've been doing a thing this week where I got you and Pete.
I would say. Oh, so sorry. I would say 3, maybe 4.
So I know that you've only seen the first and the second one for Kung Fu Panda, right?
I think I've only seen the first, maybe the second one.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Anyway, I remember seeing them, and I remember you kind of at least 2 of the 4 you haven't seen.
Yeah,
maybe it was
There's
the 3.
4. One just came out not long ago, right?
Yeah. And
Good God.
Anyway, like I remember looking at your ratings and then looking at you saying you haven't seen it and you weren't interested. And I was like, really? To me, I've seen the first 3 and they're all great.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little bit of progression of like the second one's story's not as strong as the first story. And the third one, I would say is probably on par with the second one. But the second one, like the first one ends and it's kind of like a nice clean cut. There's not any exposition for a sequel.
Right.
Where there's a very clear exposition for a sequel in the end of the second one.
But you're also far more like Asian culture and Kung Fu in general, far more interesting to you than it is to me.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's kind of where I go,
Yeah.
you know, But yeah, only 3, possibly 4 to account for one I'm not thinking of actually great animated sequels ever.
Yeah.
Toy Story 1 and 2.
Right.
Or sorry, 2 and 3.
Right.
One's not a sequel. 2 and 3, and Shrek 2. That's it. Not that every other one is crap, but like to say truly great.
Yeah, better than the first.
Better than the first, yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say the second and third one are better than the first. The first one, I think, was lightning in a bottle.
Even my favorite.
Jack Black is great. I completely forgot that Seth Rogen was in Kung Fu Panda till I heard him talk as cricket, which again, he just phones it in. Like he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't do his stupid laugh, thank God. But
even my favorite non-Disney animated film of all time has a okay sequel, which is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That first Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie, perfection.
Lightning in a bottle.
Perfection. Yeah. Second one, there's some funny. There's a leak in the boat.
It's not a big step down, but it is a step down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. I need to rewatch that movie. So good.
Yeah, that was my list.
Okay.
Probably watch Kung Fu Panda 3 and 4 next weekend.
So you watched 1 and 2. That was the Friday night, Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what did you watch?
Shrek 4.
Ooh.
Got around to Shrek 4. It's good. It's better than the third. Third's garbage. Better than the third. Not as good as the second one.
I remember the fourth one feeling worse than the third.
Oh, yeah. No, I like the fourth one much better. Much better.
I have to rewatch those. Maybe after we're done with Kung Fu Panda, we'll go back and watch the Shrek ones.
Yeah. So watch that. Finished the first season of Bad Batch.
Nice.
And are probably 4 episodes into the second season.
Which we reviewed.
Yeah. There's just on a second viewing, like going bang, 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 finishing Clone Wars, going straight into Bad Batch,
just jumping
whatever.
right into the next.
The first season, I was far more into it than I was previously. Right. For whatever reason, I was just like, okay, I care about these characters. I'm interested in what's happening. There's some mysteries going on because I don't remember Bad Batch.
Well, because you get introduced into Bad Batch in the last season. Of Clone
they have like a
Wars.
3-episode arc in the final season.
So you get invested into them before they get their own thing.
Yeah, and so then we finished season 1, and I was like, you know what, that was better than I thought it was going to be, and by episode 2, episode 3, and then episode 4 of Bad Batch, I am repeatedly out loud turning and saying to Brienne, what a great show.
Of the second season?
Oh, the second season, man.
Yeah.
Like, just out of the gate, it was like, I don't know if it's different writers. I don't know what it is, but there is moments. I mean, I'm going to spoil an episode of season 2 because it's been out forever.
Oh, we
now.
already reviewed it, too.
There's a moment
check it
where, Cody's back. We get to see Commander Cody, who didn't have his chip removed, but is
struggling.
Many of the clones are starting to question if we're really doing the right thing here. Right. So I don't know if the effects of Order 66 is wearing off. I don't know what's happening, but they're like, you know what?
Starting to see through the fog.
We were all for gunning down the Jedi because the contingency plan that all the Jedi had.
The Jedi were turning on us.
Like, that made sense to us. It probably sucked, but good soldiers follow orders.
Right.
We're looking around at what the Empire's doing here, and this doesn't feel right to us.
Good soldiers should get treated well.
Cody's struggling.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where there's an episode where some rinky-dink Imperial officer has shown up with a small, I don't know what you were thinking, with only like 8 TK troopers, have shown up on this planet, previously a separatist planet, to like assert their dominance. Well, they get overpowered, and that Imperial officer is taken hostage. So Commander Cody is sent out along with Crosshair, who is the one member of the Bad Batch who seemingly
Followed
in the
orders.
first season, followed orders. His inhibitor chip or behavioral whatever chip did work, whereas everyone else's didn't. Right? Like no one else was affected by.
I feel like you haven't gotten to the part in the season.
I'm saying
Okay.
in season 1, it would appear
Right.
that his chip works and nobody else's does. Like
Right.
Order 66,
Right.
there seems to be a real turn in him.
Right.
By the end of season 1, we think, okay, we're going to save him. We've got him cornered. We're going to get the chip out of his head, blah, blah, blah. That's when Crosshair reveals, well, I took my chip out forever ago. This is just
After he got some kind of head wound.
yeah. This is just me.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
I want to be a sheep that follows orders.
Well, or whatever.
Yeah. I want to be a good soldier.
I
that
believe
follows
in
orders.
this. What we're doing here.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so there's a moment early on in the second season where these two, Crosshair and Cody, go to rescue this Imperial officer, and he's being held hostage. The proper governor of this planet, she's got a blaster to the governor's head. Don't come any closer, blah, blah, blah. Cody's able to talk her down. Put the gun down. Give us the officer. Look, I understand war. You understand war. We both survived a horrible war. Let's not have another one. I'm promising you peace, right? And so she goes along with it, lets the guy go, and then this Imperial officer, as soon as he's free, he's like, oh, "Thank you, good job, trooper. Now execute her."
Right.
And Cody's like, "Dude, I just promised her peace. Like I just,
Yeah.
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 And he's like, "I don't care what you promised her, gun her down." And he's not. And Cody's, who has set his blaster down as well in good faith, is not picking it up, right? He's like, and he's like, "Dude, this is an order. Like, if you don't want to face the wrath of me and punishment, whatever." And the camera's just on him as he's like, he's looking at her and he's looking at the officer and he's looking down at his blaster, and then he looks back up at her. And as all this is happening, and you can see the torment on Cody's face.
Well animated, yeah.
You hear bang. And you instantly know what's happened.
Yeah.
You know the Crosshairs took the shot.
Yeah.
And the shiver that went down my spine. Like you were just like, it genuinely invoked a feeling of, oh God. Right? Like it was just, and I'm just like,
Feeling
what
bad
a
for Cody.
show. What a show. Like
Yeah.
just an animated show that is implementing and using real emotional, heavy moments.
It'd be interesting because I feel like I remember when we reviewed season 2.
It was kind of whatever.
We were pretty harsh on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast with season 2. And season
That's
2 is
awesome.
incredible.
That's awesome.
Incredible so far.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
and that's it. Been
Nice.
playing a lot of Rock Band.
Yeah.
Full setup Rock
Nice.
Band. Yeah.
You all right, back to movies. You're done the Shrek movies. No, there's
Yep.
a Shrek. No, the Shrek 5 is coming.
Shrek 5 is the one where everyone's like, "Whoa, why does it look like that? What the hell?"
It's coming out.
It's
right?
coming out
Yeah.
next Christmas.
But are you going to do? You're doing Puss in
We're gonna
Boots
do
next?
Puss in Boots next,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't seen the first one. I've only seen
No,
Last
well,
Wish.
we've seen neither of them.
So
Brandon and I.
I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say about Last Wish. I'm a little fearful though, because it's like, have I built it up to be something?
You've built it up quite a
Yeah.
bit since day
Because
one
I've watched
when
it
you watched
twice,
it. Yeah.
and I've really liked it. And
You saw it in the
I've sung
theater.
its praises.
You saw it in
yeah,
the theater,
with my
yeah.
daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've sung its praises. And I hope I haven't. Yeah. I feel like you're going to be really harsh on it because I've built it up to be something.
Well, and also, like, I think inevitably I'll be a little hard on it because you've watched all the Shreks. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like this is a part of a thing, and so not only will I be comparing it to the praise that you've given it, but I'll also be comparing it to everything that's come before.
Right.
Right. Fresh in my mind.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All listed below. We post things on there. We chat with you guys. We're like, hey,
Discord.
look at this.
If
Our
you join-
Discord, if you join our Patreon.
Yeah.
At any level.
Yeah. Then you can really connect with us.
You can like literally chat. So here's the thing, right? Like you can post on our Facebook, you can comment on our stuff, we'll comment back. That's all great, fine and dandy. I mean, send us an email if you really want, themoviemenpodcast@gmail.com. But our Discord that is open to all of our Patreon supporters is like, it's like hopping in a Facebook chat with us.
Yeah.
Like we'll just talk with you.
Pete, Brady, and myself.
We share funny reels.
We still do a little bit. We've moved it over to the Discord. We shared essentially what like crap shit posting, right? Like just sharing stupid reels and memes and thoughts and
so we
movie
do a
related
lot
stuff.
of that over
We've
there.
moved all that over there and left our Facebook chat for more business related
But
stuff.
we also have a channel there specifically dedicated to talking about the episodes. If you want to debate, if you've listened to a review and you're like, hey, you guys are full of shit, right? This is like, you totally missed the point. Let me explain to you how xenomorph biology works. That's where we have a debate. We can sit, we can hash it out, and we will just like have a back and forth.
Yeah.
Like it's a good place to connect with us. And merch, stickers,
hats, things like that.
Did you notice my mailbox?
You made a
You
mailbox that people can buy?
No, I like a physical mailbox when you came.
No.
Did you notice? You
It's
noticed
dark.
it on
It
the
was dark. It's pitch black.
It's bright yellow.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, so check it on the way out. It was kind of
Okay.
fun. We put the mailbox in.
Did you put a sticker on it?
I was thinking about putting a sticker on it.
Yeah.
Less than 20 hours after the mailbox was in place, we put it in last night. Brienne went to...
Somebody hit it with a baseball bat.
No, Brienne went to leave today to go to the store, and she's like, oh, the flag's up? Why is the flag up? She opened it up. It's like some bullshit spam crap. Less than 20 hours in.
An election
We
flyer.
have junk mail. It's just like, great. Great.
Nice.